Very good evening and namaskar to the viewers of Pandit Ravi Shankar Music Foundation. Once again, we welcome you to our show Reflections, which is in honor of Pandit Ravi Shankarji's 100-year celebration, part of celebration. Today, once again, we welcome our one of the eminent guests from abroad, Dr.M. Nandakumara, Executive Director, Bharati Vidya Bhavan, London. He is Executive Director. I welcome Dr. Nandakumara and to whom once again I welcome Gourav Majumdar ji to speak to Nandakumara ji. Namaskar, Nandakumara ji.
Namaste.
So nice. We feel honored to have you in our show. And once again, Gourav da is here. He will speak with you and talk the memories of Pandit ji. So over to Gourav Majumdar ji and for the show. Thank you.
Thank you, Nabarun ji. You have honored me. I'm indeed grateful to you all and to our dear Gourav bhai, and of course through Gourav bhai, our dear Sukanya ji, and to all of you for giving me this opportunity to share some of my time with none other than Bharata Ratna, the one and only Pandit ji, our Pandit Ravi Shankar ji.
Namaste, Nandaji. How are you? Good to see you. And what a pleasure to welcome you and speak to you. I know the affection, love, respect you have for Guruji in your heart. It would be nice for people to experience it and hear it from you. To begin with, you wanted to start with a prayer. So let's begin, because tomorrow is an auspicious day, Guru Purnima. Let's remember our Guruji, Bharat Ratna Pandit Ravi Shankar ji, and all the Gurus, all our elders, our parents, and we begin with a prayer from you, Nandaji.
Thank you. Thank you, Gourav ji. Thank you so much. And we'll begin with the prayer to the Universal Guru. And we have understood the meaning of this word Guru by being closer to none other than our Pandit ji, who embodies everything that goes with this very, very special word, Guru. I will say a prayer, a beautiful prayer on Universal Guru. Na guru radhikam tattvam, na guru radhikam tapaha, tattva jnanat param nasti, tasmai shri gurave namaha. It's the Guru who makes it possible for all of us to be able to understand things the way they have to be understood. So with this prayer, we will begin today's program, Gourav bhai. Now, I'm all yours.
Thank you. Thank you. Brilliant. To begin with, I would like to know where you come from and where our dear Mathurji came from, and the history of Bhavan, to begin with, for all of us to know the connection of Bhavan, Mathurji, our dear Nandaji, and the Bhavan London.
Yeah, oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Gourav bhai. Bhavan is a movement started way back in 1938 by none other than Kanhaiyalal Maneklal Munshi ji, a great freedom fighter, a Gandhian, a disciple of Gandhi ji and Sardar Patel, a governor who used to be governor of Uttar Pradesh. He started Bhavan way back in 1938. And it has grown over the years with the support of all people, great people, including our Pandit ji. And today it is one of the largest cultural institutes, not only in India, outside India, spreading the very message of our art and culture. And myself and our Mathurji, of course, Mathurji first, he was the one who was responsible for the starting of the Bhavan here in London, of course, with the blessings of Sri Ramakrishnan, who used to be Director General of our Bhavan in Mumbai. Mathurji earlier worked for Bharati Vidya Bhavan in Bangalore. He joined Bhavan in 1968. Mathurji comes from same village. We both come from the same village. Mattur, today it is known as Sanskrit village all over the world.
Correct.
A place where most of the people are capable of communicating through the medium of Sanskrit. And maximum number of Vedic scholars in one little place you will find there. All people are interested in music, both North Indian and South Indian, dance, art, variety of subjects. Mathurji comes from that village, and also he went to Madras. And afterwards, he came and settled in Bangalore. He used to work as a sub-editor to one of the largest dailies called Samyukta Karnataka. And he was working under Mr. R.R. Divakar, a great Gandhian. This was during that time, our Ramakrishnan ji came to know of Mathurji and invited him to join the Bhavan. First, he joined Bhavan in Bangalore, worked as a registrar of Bharati Vidya Bhavan, Bangalore. And in 1972, he was selected to come and run the show here in London. So he came in 1972 with great difficulty. He established friendship with all the important people who became involved with the Bhavan or still involved with the Bhavan. One amongst them is our Sukanyaji also, who worked as a volunteer to the Bhavan from early days. I came only in 1977. Sukanyaji's association with the Bhavan and Mathurji was much, much earlier. So he had established this to see that the very essence of our art and culture is taken to the next generation, especially in a Western country where there are no such institutions to impart this knowledge. And that was started way back in 1972. We were in a small building in 37 New Oxford Street. And Panditji visited that Bhavan about, I think, around 74, 75 or so, along with Ravi Shankar ji and other artists. At that time, he was associated with the Bhavan. He knew Bhavan, but he became closer to the Bhavan later. And then I arrived in London in 1977 to do my doctorate from London University. I was lucky to have Dr. John Marr, one of the greatest scholars from the West, on all topics Indian, and he was my guide. I did my doctorate under him from London University, and even while I was studying, Mathurji guided me, and then I was able to take care of the Bhavan's library and programs, etc. In 83, 84, when I completed my PhD, I was observed by the Bhavan as its academic director.
Wonderful.
Mathurji was the first executive director. Under him, I started working full-time from 1984 onwards.
84 onwards. Okay. So if I understand correctly, just a few questions. So pre-independence, K.M. Munshiji started Bhavan, which
Yes.
was known, UP, that time Uttar Pradesh was known as United Province.
Yes.
So you're saying it started in Governor. Yes, correct. And Mathurji started Bhavan 1972 at Oxford Circus in a small room.
Correct.
Where Guruji visited, and then later the Bhavan moved to its present premises in West Kensington.
Yes.
Now, I would like to know, can you tell us of the first visit of Guruji? Around 74, you are saying Guruji.
Yeah, actually, I was not here during that time.
Yeah, but you must have heard of it.
Yeah, I know. Not only that, I have seen so many photographs.
Correct.
Of Guruji, not only Guruji with Ravi Shankar, and many other artists who came and visited our Bhavan there at that time. And then he came and looked at our bookshop. And Mathurji used to mention how very kind he was. He brought not only our Indian musicians, others also to visit the Bhavan. And at that time, Bhavan was very small. We didn't have many activities. He was suggesting, why don't we start something bigger? And then Raviji was very busy, but whenever he came to London, he would always make it a point to visit Bhavan. I can tell you, ever since we moved to this building, I have met Guruji every year, minimum 2-3 times.
How lucky, what a blessing.
Minimum.
And which year was that when you shifted to West Kensington?
We shifted to this building in 1978, June, July.
Okay. And you were already there, you were studying, and
Correct.
you were in the London University. So what was your first meeting and when was it with Guruji?
My first meeting was in 1979. Actually, there was a time when Guruji had come and Tata's, they used to have another hotel in London called Bailey's.
Bailey's, yeah. He used to stay there.
Which used, now I think they don't own that. They have sold it to somebody. It was virtually next door to Gloucester tube station. That's where Mathurji and myself went and met him.
Okay.
Mathurji was struggling to raise funds for the Bhavan. So he said, Nanda, come, let's go and take the blessings of Panditji, Raviji, and request him for a benefit concert. So, but Raviji was very busy, as we all know, not a day available, for concerts, etc., because he was so busy. But when we went there, we met him, and he said, yes, I'll give a concert. I'll give a benefit concert. We didn't know how to express our joy. Mathurji was calculating how to involve people, how to raise as much as possible for the Bhavan, because you won't get an opportunity like that. An artist of his caliber. Raviji is very unique, unlike any other artist I have ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Well, we will talk about that later.
Definitely.
And that's the first time I met him.
Okay. And then from there, the date was organized for the concert?
Correct. The date was organized. I can't remember. I think it is early part of 1980.
And it was to be at the Mountbatten Hall of Bhavan, or
correct.
Okay, please tell us about it. Please
Hall here at the Bhavan. I'll tell you, it has a very special history behind that.
Yeah.
The concert was fixed. One day, suddenly in the morning, Mathurji received a phone call saying that, Mathurji, I'm coming. I want to see the hall. We had already done the publicity and everything done. He came, the hall was, we had just purchased the building. No renovation had been done. It was a church hall.
Yes.
But we had removed all the chairs to make room for as many chairs to be accommodated there for our concerts. Raviji came and he went to one side of the stage and with clapping there to see how the sound traveled across the hall. Came to the other side. He made, I think, Sukanyaji, if I remember correctly, to stand in other places, just say that this hall is so good, we can have a concert without microphones, he said.
Oh, because it was a church, naturally.
Yeah, and also look at the way he was a universal musician. He's not just, an Indian musician. So he mentioned that. Afterwards, we came to the office. He said, with Sukanya, he said, I want a golden light, yellow light from this spot. I want another color from here, not too much as such, just enough to make sure that the stage is properly lit. Nothing else. All other things he had organized, he had spoken to the sound engineer, etc. Everything was organized. So we were, every day we were so enthusiastic, like little children, when they are, told that tomorrow they are going to have, or next week they're going to have a school trip. We don't sleep until that happens. Like that, me and Mathurji were not sleeping every day, trying to ring people to make sure that this concert became a success. And we should use that as a thing, to reach other people to get more for the Baba whenever. So the day arrived. All the arrangements have been done.
Who was playing tabla?
Ustad Allah Rakha,
Abbaji,
another legend.
Wonderful.
And I think Pradyot Sen and our Sukanyaji, Tanpura.
Oh.
Tanpura, Pradyotji, and then Sukanyaji, if I remember correctly. I think Pradyotji and Allah Rakhaji, Ustad Allah Rakhaji. So all, because the day we fixed with Raviji, he said, I'll make sure that Allah Rakhaji is available for that day and he will come and perform. So we were writing. We were thinking that, what we need to pay to other people, etc., etc. We were calculating in our own mind how much we have to do this. And Mathurji had in his mind to ask somebody for some donation so that we can save even that money for the Bhavan. So at the Mathurji rang Panditji, can we send a car? He said, no, I will come by a taxi. So Madhuri gave me a few pounds, maybe 20, 25 pounds, and made me stand at the door. The Bhavan's gate was not like this. It was right in the middle. On either side, we had the toilets. It was in the middle. I went, the taxi arrived. I rushed to the taxi to pay the amount to the driver. Immediately, Sukanyaji, Raviji, Nandaji is paying the taxi fare. He said, Nanda, no. You are not paying, I am paying. I said, you are not paying. So I helped with the sitar, etc., to bring it in. As we were coming in, he told me, Nanda, this is a benefit concert. So every penny has to be a benefit for the Bhavan. So you are not paying anybody, any of our artists. They will all come on their own and they will all go back on their own. But when I charge you, I won't accept a penny less.
How sweet.
I came back and then said to Mathurji didn't know what to say. And because we were thinking of how to make arrangement for the payment, other payment, etc., that's all. And then when I mentioned to him that this is what Raviji said, when he charges, but afterwards he gave so many concerts, not only concerts, so many other help. Whenever I used to mention this, Nanda, how can I charge Bhavan? Bhavan is my home. I can make what I require for my life elsewhere. Bhavan, how can I charge? He never charged. Only artist, Gaurav, who never charged a single penny to any of his services to the Bhavan. The kind of services I will narrate as we go further. Unheard of.
Unheard of.
Something I can never express in word our gratitude to Raviji. Our chairman Dalalji used to mention the same thing. Our present chairman, our Joginderji, also mentioned the same thing because he had not attended the concerts as much as what Dalalji did because he was busy with his own office. He became involved more after he became a chairman, Joginderji. But he came to our Anushka's concert. I narrate that later. So sure. I just want to mention that all this behind the person who has worked, influence, etc., is our Sukanyaji.
Of course, absolutely, absolutely. So, being a student of music, I'm very curious to know what happened that day on stage. What was the music like? And
music was out of this world. The arrangement on the stage, everything from the backdrop to what has to go on the stage, everything was decided, simple, elegant.
Which was Guruji's.
Raviji had very elegant, and Raviji had told too much introduction, no. Even I don't want any vote of thanks, but Mathurji begged, listen, okay, in that case, just a few sentences, not too much. Mathurji said, okay. That's the only time when Mathurji said yes, because it was Panditji, Guruji. So he said, we have to thank you, Panditji, and you must give time for our chairman to come and garland you, and I will have to say a few words. It's okay, he said, because he is such a kind person, at the same time, strict when it comes to his concerts.
Very strict.
So in his concert, it's just, just like anybody else. I don't think many people know this. Raviji was such a simple yet so profound.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And the concert was houseful.
Oh.
And we virtually every seat was taken, and we had people standing on either side. And those who came on that day, they always used to mention, saying that we have attended one of the finest concerts in our life in London, because London during those days, correct, we never used to have a lot of people, lot of musicians coming here. But to have Raviji of all the people to perform, give a benefit concert for the Bhavan, when Mathurji said, you are not only listening to one of the finest concerts, you are helping the Bhavan. That made it even more interesting to people. Yeah. But the concert was unique. The items were selected so beautifully, to make sure that everyone, not necessarily everybody, is well versed in music. Everybody is so he wanted to make sure that all are happy. So he selected those, especially for those who are trained listener of classical music, and for those who are not, for them also, lots of British people were there as well.
Yes.
That not non-Asians were there as well.
Correct.
It went like clockwork. We can never forget that day.
This is what I'm thinking, Nandaji.
Huh.
The financial side is one thing, that whatever money Bhavan was able to raise, that's one. But imagine a person who was a sold out star at the Albert Hall and Royal Festival Hall, Barbican. For him
Correct.
to come to Bhavan premises, all of a sudden Bhavan became like a known and a quality name because Pandit Ravi Shankar was coming there and performing. So
Very true.
Said a lot of non-Asian, non-Indian people came because all of a sudden they saw a place where they can come if they want Indian culture of high quality, of
Absolutely.
real quality. So that was, I think, a real contribution of Guruji to Bhavan.
Not only that, I'll tell you later, he became so close. We can't imagine a person of Raviji's caliber, to see whom people will stand in queue, greatest musicians.
Correct.
I have seen that with my own eyes. On so many occasions, people will be waiting. Raviji would listen to you. If he has given you time, he would listen to you 100%.
He is there for you.
His very special quality. And even people, whoever came, he would always meet, etc. But someone to meet whom people waited. Such a person took Bhavan to his heart. He said an institution like Bhavan should be there and every musician should help. That was the time he brought so many musicians, some of their names I can't, like Tarun Majumdar.
Tarun Bhattacharya.
Tarun Bhattacharya, disciple of our Shivkumarji. And also the one who played Shahanai.
Daya Shankar.
Daya Shankar ji.
Vishwamohan
Bhatt ji. All of them, he said, you must go to Bhavan, you must perform there.
Yes.
You should not ask anything. You should go and perform. See, the connection was not only Raviji's own, help here. Through him, so many other people came to Bhavan. I will mention to you later about George Harrison.
Yes, definitely.
His connection, etc. And also Raviji himself helping the Bhavan to start our degree course. Can you imagine a person single-handedly can manage to influence somebody at Trinity?
Correct.
To start a course in Indian music degree?
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, you ask me of this little later, Gourav. I'll mention.
And amongst the musicians you mentioned, just a note, because he is our dear Guru Bhai, around the same time, around early 80s, mid 80s.
Before, I'll come to the...
Tarun Bhattacharya tied Ganda and became a disciple of Guruji. And
yes,
he learned all his life from Guruji, and he was involved in many projects of Guruji.
Correct.
Just, but I remember talking of this 1980 incident and how special, because my first visit to London and my first visit to Bhavan was when Guruji was performing on his birthday, a morning concert.
Yes.
I'll never forget, it was a morning concert and Guruji played Parmeshwari that day. And if I'm not wrong, this beautiful picture which is behind you is from the sitar class, is also from the year 1993.
Oh, yes, it is. Actually, 4/12/1993, given
Correct.
by Nishit Ganguly ji. I want to remember because these are the people.
Beautiful picture. And that morning concert is always going to be etched in my memory, because here I come to a place outside India, which is beautiful. Bhavan then was different, not like how the current building is, which is also very beautiful. But then it was very simple. You come in and on the right was this beautiful church, which is the Mountbatten Hall. And I go there, first, of course, I meet Guruji, and Guruji was looking stunning that day with white kurta and dhoti. And then the concert, and I still remember, I don't know why Guruji asked me to sit on stage. He said, sit here, be close to me.
Yes.
I came just for that morning for that concert. And I ended up, Guruji said, after this, what's your plan? I said, I'm going back to Essex because I came with Gilda, our dear friend, Sebastian.
Yes. Yes, Gila
And
Sebastian.
Guruji said, no, I'm staying with, in Hampstead, he was with the Bachchans. And
Yes, yes.
he said, I want you to stay back. So I ended up just in my kurta and it was cold. I was not really
Yes.
used to the weather in London. It was cold. I only had a shawl. And Guruji said, don't worry about clothes. I'll manage. And I ended up staying with Guruji for 3 or 4 days, I remember.
Yes.
But that concert in the morning, again, I'm sure a benefit concert. I'm sure. But because I was there and I saw, like you said, whenever he was with you, he was 200%. Even a benefit concert, he gave his 200%. And
Absolutely.
it was steeped in spirituality and divinity, what was hallmark of Guruji's music. And what a beautiful morning that was, Nandaji. Do you remember all that?
Absolutely. I still remember that. Gaurav, not only that, whenever since then, ever since he came here, we made sure that we never misused his name.
Yes.
We made sure that we were there whenever he needed something. Actually, he needed nothing from anybody as such. But we made sure that whenever Raviji wants, we want to make use of that opportunity to go closer to him. Nothing else other than that. Being in his presence was something very special, which you have experienced in your life more than all of us. But the other thing is, I want to tell you, after 1980, he came 2-3 times, 1980 to 83. We had a meeting, another meeting. Raviji had come to Bhavan. And then Mathurji, myself, we were all discussing the thing. I think we wanted to start courses more serious than what it used to be. Until the time, we used to have only once a week, one class. And we used to appoint a local teacher who could come and teach. What used to happen was they would come when they had a concert, they would disappear, giving some excuse sometimes. Sometimes genuinely, if they fell ill also, the gap would be 15 days. Guruji said, why don't you start something more serious? Then Mathurji immediately, then you'll have to help. If you give a hand, he would swallow the whole hand. He said, then Guruji, you'll have to help us. Okay, I will help you with the sitar teacher and a tabla teacher. So we approached Guruji for that. Panditji, he said, you write to Deepak Bhai. Deepak Chaudhary and Arup Chatterjee. He had spoken to both of them. You must say yes. You should go to Bhavan and start these classes. That's when we had 2 other teachers, very senior teachers like our Prakashji and Shiv Shakti ji. Both were very committed. These 4 made a really good team. Shiv Shakti, Prakash, Arup, and Deepak.
Which year was that?
That was 84, 85.
Okay.
That's when we started our thing.
Faculty.
And with the blessings of 2 giants. One is Raviji, another one is Subbalakshmi ji.
M.S. Subbalakshmi.
Well, Raviji suggested this, said together, said both of them sent their blessings. That's how we started our diploma courses. First year, hardly we had about 50 students altogether. Raviji had said, it will take time, but you must be patient and work. Mathurji was every time the 50,000 deficit, 60,000 deficit. Mathurji, don't worry, money will come. Next year, 50 became 100. The following year, 100 became 250. It reached a stage whereby we used to have 960, 970 students. As of now, it's about 850. But that's how it started. And with these classes, it has grown and grown. And all the time, with the blessings of Raviji, he became a patron of the Bhavan. To use his name on our letterhead is special.
Very special. Very special.
Lata Mangeshkar ji, Raviji, and later our Balamurali ji joined as our patron. And we mentioned these are the people. Balamuraliji showed interest in this. We selfishly mentioned them so that he will say yes. He also said yes. After Raviji's demise, our Sukanyaji is our patron.
Wonderful.
One of our leading patrons like that. See, like that, every year, whenever he came to London, he would come and visit us. He would come to our house. It was such an honor. Whenever he came, he knew I would sing some folk songs in Kannada, etc. I still remember during one of his concerts, I composed a song on him. Whenever I meet our Anushka, she says, you compose something, that song. And she used to remember the tune.
Yeah. She was
Panditam Ravi Shankaram Shubhakaram Pranamamyaham. I can't remember the whole song.
Sure.
He used to remember, mention, Nanda uncle used to sing that song, he would mention. So our Anushka. So I composed a song. Raviji was very pleased. Because even this much art, if it's there in somebody, he would encourage them. I am no artist, but still he appreciated whatever little I knew. He said, Nanda, that is very good. He has seen such greatest musicians in his life. But for him, just to encourage people, just to make feel that he respects them, he extends his affection to all these people. It's very special.
Definitely. And those visits, I remember, there were many of them I would be lucky to be around. It invariably started from your office where you're sitting now, that beautiful place. I love it because Guruji used to sit there, and I loved it, Nandaji. And I will finish my question, and I want to have that journey of Guruji from your office, and it would end in your home with a South Indian meal. So this is something going to be interesting for people to know. What was that journey all about, in between, of course, the concert and everything. But he loved going to your home and, to have Jankiji's cooked South Indian meal. So please.
I'll continue with this now. And you see what happened afterwards. Whenever Raviji came, he's such a simple and unassuming person. He has always been. Say, Nandaji, any concerts at the Bhavan?
Correct.
There would be some concert. He would come with Sukanyaji. Just he would not sit in the first row. He said, no, I'll go and sit. Because he didn't want to make the artist frightened. In the sense, he says, if they come to know that I'm there, Sukanyaji would still remember. On that day, there was a concert. Our TVG sir, TV Gopal Krishnanji, was sitting in the first row. On the stage, somebody was singing. The minute Raviji came, he stood up and did namaskar to Raviji and asked him to sit next to him. And Raviji said, no, TVG sir, I'll sit behind. I will listen to the concert. And then afterwards, we will meet in Nandaji's house. Not only here, to so many concerts he has come and encouraged the youngsters. Whenever he had time, he would find enough time to come and listen to these artists and appreciate them. He would talk to them, would bless them. Very few artists will find time to do this, really top artists.
And not just artists, he would also come and listen to the students.
Not only for this one is one thing. When we started this, he would come and sit in our summer school. That's how he found our Prasanna.
Yes, correct.
The Prasanna was in our Bala's class.
Yes.
One day he came.
Bala Chandar, our dear Mridangist.
Now to one of the concerts, Sukanyaji is so kind. Whenever any concert by Raviji in London, anywhere, he would say, Nanda, 2 of your tickets are there. You will have to be there. It was an honor for us. With so much love, she would keep virtually next seat to her. Sukanyaji, next to her, Olivia Harrison. Next to Sukanyaji, me and Janki would sit and listen to Raviji's concerts. In one of those concerts, sitting next to us was George Harrison. I couldn't believe my eyes. she has made me sit next to a legend.
Yes.
And a dear, dear disciple of Raviji.
Yes.
We never thought I would never even meet. Forget about this, Judge Har. Not forget about Judge Har. Even I never thought in my dreams that I would ever meet Raviji. When I did my MA in Sanskrit in India, I was teaching in a high school in Bangalore. I was very happy. But Mathurji brought me to London. I'm grateful. After coming to London, I'm so lucky I've been able to meet all these great people, really great people. I don't want to use the word great loosely.
Yes.
These people are really great.
They were great. They were great souls.
Correct. We were sitting next to George Harrison. The concert was over. The hall was full. No seat. At the end, it was Barbican.
Barbican, okay.
At the end, some people were allowed to meet Raviji. Selected a few people, 30, 40 people, etc. And we both were there. Again, George Harrison was there. Raviji was getting ready inside his room. Only when he came out, he would meet everybody else. But Sukanya just said, Nanda, you come inside. Took me with George Harrison, and Raviji introduced. George, we are going to Bhavan tomorrow. And and then I was so happy. Our summer school was taking place. And we had a lot of artists. I can't remember exactly who were the people. Quite a few of them, like Chitra Vishweshwaran, they were all there.
I was there. I was there.
Yeah, no, once you were there, that was, they came 4 times. The first time I'm telling you, first time it was at Subrata Rai, I think, was there.
Okay, okay.
Who passed away, our Ravi Shankar.
Subrata Rai Chaudhary.
Yes, correct.
Sitar player.
And he came, before he came, he said there itself in front of Raviji, please tell no camera, no photographs. That this is George Harrison.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Then I was little disappointed because, we could use that to publicize the Bhavan. He said,
sure.
He said hello to Raviji and he left. And he looked at me, Raviji, Nanda, don't worry, you bring your cameraman. He won't do anything. You take as many photographs as possible. His only intention is because people come to know that too many people will come. George is not fussy about this. He has just mentioned to you. I will talk to him. You don't worry. You bring your Madan Arora, was a very well-known camera person.
I remember, yeah.
And he came, he took so many photographs. George Harrison didn't object to any of those things. During one of these, you were there during one of our summer schools. Yes. So many other people, almost for 4 or 5 summer schools, George Harrison has come.
Yes.
With Raviji.
Yes.
And visiting all the classes, sitting with all the artists for 5 minutes, allowing them to take photographs and watching them. When he came to the Mridangam class, he sat and watched Prasanna's brother. There was another boy as well. All of them playing, and then immediately look at Prasanna. There's something special about this boy. Within 3-4 years, he had his Arangetam. The rest is history now.
Yes, yes.
How lucky Prasanna is now.
He's
not only he performed with Raviji, and now he's always, accompanying our Anushkaji.
Yes.
So these are the people. Even there was another artist called Hari Shivaneshan, who also got an opportunity to tour with Anushka and Guruji in America. They were so lucky. Of course, our Balachandar, Raviji paid for him and got him to come to Los Angeles twice to accompany him.
Yes, yes.
These
are all amazing. I'll never forget that summer school when Guruji and George Harrison came. And I remember I had taught Bhupali to the students.
Yes.
Guruji insisted on listening to the whole piece, and both Guruji and George Harrison, they sat and they listened to the whole piece, and you have pictures of that.
We have those
pictures of that. It was
not only that.
So nice.
I want to interrupt you just for 1 minute.
Sure, sure.
During the early 90s, we had approached somebody by name Gourav Majumdar for a concert. We had agreed for a fee and everything was done. On the stage, while introducing you, I mentioned what Guruji has done to our Bhavan. At the end, the concert was concluded. We are thanking. You picked up the phone and said, Nandaji, I don't want any payment for my concert. I want this to be a benefit concert. When you mentioned that our Guruji gave his benefit concert from this stage, I want to start with that, my association with the Bhavan. Since then, it has continued. You have been there whenever we have wanted. And even occasions when we haven't been able to provide you a proper room.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure because Bhavan is my home. Bhavan is my home. And I love coming there. And most important, this is where my Guru has been, in every corner of Bhavan, he has spread his beautiful energy. And I feel that I'm close to him when I'm in Bhavan. So it's a pleasure. Thank you.
The connection he has given, and that's how you have come close. You have become so close, such a dear, dear friend. Always, whenever I meet with Sukanyaji, we talk about you. The simplicity and the unassuming nature is always good for organizations to have that kind of relationship.
Because Chinnama always has had a very special hand on my head and blessed me and loved me. And I have really benefited a lot from her blessings and her love. I must say this.
Yes, yes. Can I continue with the relationship with the George Harrison?
So now let's go back to our dear George Harrison. And also, I think you did a puja at George Harrison's home, if I'm not wrong.
Correct, correct. See, the first thing I want to tell about puja is Raviji and Sukanyaji were so kind. They said they had newly either bought that place or built that place in US.
San Diego.
And, in San Diego, they wanted Mathurji to perform the Graha Pravesh ceremony. And they took Mathurji all the way from London to San Diego, where Mathurji performed the puja with our Raviji and Sukanyaji performing the Graha Pravesh ceremony to that beautiful house. I still have those photographs somewhere in our album. And Mathurji always used to mention even the topmost directors and actors from Hollywood had come there, and some of them were even painting the wall of Guruji's, because to complete the whole thing, just to show that how close they were all to Raviji. They consider Raviji as their Guru. Nanda, you must go there to see what Raviji is to all these people.
Exactly. And if I can just add in between, we had a guest a few weeks back, and she mentioned that Guruji invited her for Guruji's birthday celebration. So she was thinking maybe it will be all glitter and all stars and everybody. And she says, I go there and I see a couple of Pandits sitting, chanting. And, this was so important to Guruji to carry that beautiful, Vedic culture with him. Because for him, that was the way, I think, to connect to his roots. And that was really what Guruji was, who he was. Because when he sat and played, it really felt that somebody has sat down to worship.
Yes.
I want you to elaborate on this, Nandaji.
No, I think, Guruji, whenever he did something, 100% he was there, whatever he did. And he was totally connected with our culture. Anytime, whatever he did, always. You remember, I tell you, the incident when George Harrison was stabbed.
Yes.
And then afterwards, with the grace of God, he survived.
Sure.
And he has he spoke to Raviji, saying that I'm feeling bad. This bad incident has taken place in our house. I want to do some prayer. The influence of Raviji, he rings Raviji. How can I do this? Then immediately Raviji says, you call our Nanda. Say, you the word, these are the words, call our Nanda, he will come and perform. This puja was new to me, I'm telling you. The minute that he has spoken, then immediately I received a phone call from Sukanyaji. Nanda, you will get a phone call. Please be prepared to go and do a puja.
This was in Switzerland, Lugano.
No, this is earlier. I'll tell you.
Earlier, okay.
Then I'll come to that later. This was here in Henley.
Okay, where he was staying. Okay, Henley on Thames.
in
Henley on
a,
Thames.
yes, there. And I rang my brother, made a note of what kind of puja is usually done on such occasions. And then I was ready. Then I received a phone call from George Harrison's house. This is this. And Raviji has asked us to contact you. Is it possible for you to come? Certainly, I'll come. It will be an honor to come and say my prayers for the speedy recovery of Judge Harrison. I will come. How should I come? You tell me. You don't need to do anything. We will send a car. When I went there, first time to Judge Harrison's place.
Oh,
No, I think I had been there before. I had been there during the Chants of India recording.
I was just going to say that.
All there.
Because I was there for that.
Correct.
But we'll come back to that later.
Yes, yes. And then when we went there, he narrated the whole incident and then showed me the places where even blood stains were there on the floor.
Oh.
And then we sat in a room, large room, and to do havan. He had, that operation on the chest, kind of a thing to help him to heal that wound. The knife had pierced his chest. So he had that mandate. Then he said, you can sit on a chair. No. Prayer to Agni has to be performed. Us sitting on the floor like you all sit in India. See, he sat on the floor and performed this puja, this havan. And then what happened? George Harrison's wife, Olivia, look at her sanskar. He calls me by side and says, Nandaji, I want to ask you something. I said, what? I feel guilty. I think I have hit that man little too harshly. When he was stabbing my husband, I might have wounded him too much. See, for her to think of the person who would have killed her own husband, even to think like that, one need to be blessed.
Beautiful.
He said, what you are doing now is the greatest, kind of punya. Only those who are blessed can think like this. But you didn't hit him to hurt him. You hit him just to stop your husband being killed.
Correct.
In the process, he got hurt. He will be all right. But we'll say a prayer. The sanskar of these people, why they were so close to Guruji is because they had that in them. And that's why they were shishyas of Guruji. That's why Harrison was able to learn under Guruji.
They were special people, very special people.
Very, very special. And after this only, he went to America. I think after how many months, I don't know, Gourav bhai. Sukanyaji would be able to tell you. Then one day, another phone call came. This is from Raviji's place only. Nanda, we may have to go to Lugano, where George is staying. He wants to do a small havan. When Guruji says something, it will be, these are the things, see, these are great people. We don't even dream, to meet these people. Really? But there to go and do a havan, Indian prayer for these people who are showing so much interest in our culture. I felt it's an honor. I didn't know the reason. I'll tell you, when I came to know, we went there, George had sent a special plane which flew 4 of us, Raviji, Sukanyaji, Anushka, me, and Raviji Sita. From Farnborough to Lugano. And there in his house, when we went there, he welcomed all of us. What we did was, Nanda, let's do the havan, Raviji said. First, let's do the havan, and then we can sit and talk. He wanted, we did havan. Again, the same thing. He had real bad pain in his chest. So he sat on the floor. He insisted, I will sit on the floor. Half an hour can't I sit to do my prayer to Agni? All prayer was over. We all had a cup of tea. We had our dinner, our lunch. And then just outside a place wherein you could sit, it's almost like a seat. When you look behind you, the beautiful lake from there.
Lake Lugano.
And then there, Raviji was sitting. Sadness was, imprinted on his face. I didn't know he was seated there. He was lost in thoughts. Then I went closer to him. Raviji, you look very sad. Nanda, take a seat. I want to tell you something. George is slipping away. I didn't know. See, before he breathed his last, he wanted to do a prayer, for which he had spoken to Raviji. Raviji, with his blessings, he told me to go there and perform this on that day. I felt, I could say, still I can remember Raviji's face. He was looking beyond the lake. Maybe all the things that, he had enjoyed with George Harrison must have come. And then he performed afterwards for 20 minutes, a special piece. I think if I remember correctly, our Anushka played Tanpura. Without any, he played, we all sat and listened to that. I can never forget that beautiful, beautiful piece he played specially for George. And then George took me to his reading room. There were about 15 copies of Autobiography of a Yogi.
Yes.
Paramahamsa Yogananda. He says, Nandaji, he used to call me Nandaji. I said, you please call me just Nanda. I said, no, Nandaji. Whenever people ask you something, if you want to become really rich, you read this book.
Yeah.
I present them with this book.
Yes.
When they read this, they will become really rich. Not this wealth, physical wealth, what we consider as wealth. Real wealth is something.
Absolutely. And if I'm not wrong, the first book, first copy of Autobiography of an Yogi by Paramahansa Yogananda, Guruji gifted George to read.
Oh, I
way
see.
back
I see.
when, yeah, Guruji and said, read this. It's going to be.
Oh, right.
George did mention many times that it changed his life.
Correct.
Reading that book, because there were
after that we came back, and then within 4 or 5 months in America, George passed away. He was so close to our Bhavan. We had a memorial meeting here, and I can never forget. Our John Muir used to be here. He played a song of George Harrison during that particular time, and afterwards, still the family continues to bless Bhavan. They have become one of our major donors. Thanks to Chukanyaji speaking to them, thanks to Raviji speaking to them. After George's death, they have donated so much to our Bhavan. I can never thank them. Olivia Harrison, George Harrison, their son Danny Harrison. All of them have become so close to Bhavan. All this has happened to Bhavan because of Raviji. This is why I'm saying all this is, without Raviji, we would not have met all these people.
No.
Another incident, Gourav, I want to share with you is very special. Very few people know. It was time 2002 was a time when our John Muir, myself, our Dr. Mar, we were all discussing amongst ourselves that, we must create something beyond these diploma, post-diploma levels for our students who are genuinely interested in music. Why can't we have a degree course? John had a friend in Gavin Henderson, who used to be the director of Trinity Laban. And also he was very much connected with Dartington Summer School.
Yes, I have met him, yeah.
Yes, he told John Muir, saying that, John, I can help you with your degree if you get me Ravi Shankar ji.
Oh.
Then John said, our Nanda will help you to get Ravi ji. When John came and told me, I told John, Ravi ji, if it is going to be helpful to Bhavan, he has never said no to us. Though we haven't asked him, we have just said yes to him, but we'll go and request him. If it's going to help the Bhavan, he won't say no to that. we had organized a dinner for Raviji and some officials of Trinity, with Gavin Henderson and others at Woodlands in Marylebone Lane. So Sukanyaji, they were all there. Almost 1.5 hours discussion. Then Raviji said, this year, 2002, 2003, I'm very busy. 2004, yes. Immediately, yes, they are also so happy. They were asking for 2003. So Raviji said 2003, 2002, not possible. 2004 is possible. What they wanted was a special piece created by Raviji in which you all took part. You remember that?
Yes.
And with musicians from both East and West. Raviji said yes. That our John Muir and I, we started working on that, how to make it possible. Because this is something very special and very unique. Raviji composed and he said, Nanda, I want somebody who could conduct. Then I just like, we are always trying to save something or the other. I said, Raviji, our musician we have, our Balu Raghuraman is very good. No, Balu Raghuraman is very good. Raviji, how, sincerely he spoke. He was not, he's very good, Nanda, but his conducting is a different thing. I am going to use Balu Raghuraman in performing. So he can't be conducting. I want a person who can conduct. Find out whom you can get. Our John found David Murphy.
Correct. Beautiful. Who
For the first time,
Guruji's
it was Raviji who saw David Murphy. Before that, he used to work in India with other musicians. But he also mentioned, if I can get an opportunity to work with Ravi Shankar ji, nothing like this in my life, I'll be purified. Almost to that extent, he expressed David Murphy. Then we organized for a meeting with Ravi ji and Murphy. And they became such good friends.
Yes.
And since then, for everything, Ravi ji always gave so much work to David. He's always grateful. David, his connection with the Bhavan has continued because he got this connection with Ravi ji.
Of course.
And then you all know, 15 days you all practiced here in our art gallery. The other 15 days in Dartington. Beautiful. And it was performed in 2004. Yes. The interesting thing there is a couple, I can't remember their name, I should have made a note of that, who had attended Ravi ji and Uday Shankar ji in 1934, 70 years before that, who had attended Ravi ji's program where Ravi ji had played, had danced as well in the same hall.
Yes.
They came and watched this.
The great hall.
Yes. In that church hall it is.
Yes.
On that day, when people came to know that Ravi ji is performing or directing this whole thing, special piece, such beautiful piece, people had come. It would take about 300 people, I think, if I remember correctly. There are 300 more people outside.
Yes, yes.
It was about an hour and 15 minutes or so. Ravi ji, the minute it was over, you all know, one more show.
Yes.
So all these people went away. The other group came in. He performed the same piece without any preparation second time.
Correct. Beautiful.
And
this to be there, because that was such a historic place where our great poet, Nobel laureate Rabindranath
Tagore, yes,
he was invited by Elmhurst.
Yes, Elmhurst, correct.
And he lived there, and the same place Guruji was there with Uday Shankar ji, and much later, of course, we were also lucky to be there.
Yes.
And David Murphy after that became Guruji's disciple, and he worked with Guruji for many of his Guruji's symphony. And
such a lovely person he is. And also that connection, see how Guruji made the right kind of connection to help the Bhavan without telling us that everything has happened. So many artists have given programs, benefit programs, services, etc. And we can never thank Raviji enough for the kind of helping hand he has given to our London Bhavan. If one artist need to be remembered more than anyone else, that would be Ravi Shankar, because genuine, everybody will agree with that also.
Of course.
Afterwards, all artists have performed, whether it's Hari Prasad ji, Balamurali ji, M.S. Subbulakshmi ji, Birju Maharaj ji, Shiv Kumar Sharma ji, Jasaraj ji, Bhimsen ji, they all, Padma Subramanian, all of them have performed, because we have always used Ravi ji's name to tell people that how Ravi ji has helped Bhavan. So all of them have performed for a nominal fee, each and every one of them, because Bhavan is an educational institution which has been supported by Ravi ji. So many of them have given so many benefit concerts also. Like you have given, Hari Prasad ji has given, Balamurali ji has come, so many of them. And of course, Shiv Kumar Sharma ji, just even Zakir Hussain has accompanied Ravi ji, Hari Prasad ji, Shiv Kumar Sharma ji, and all of them on so many occasions, because first time Ravi ji was accompanied by Allah Rakha ji. We honored both Ravi ji and Allah Rakha ji with our Gandhi honor. Bhavans, London Bhavans, Gandhi award was given to, first one was given to Ravi ji, the second one to Allah Rakha ji on the suggestion of Ravi ji, because they were the ones who started all this.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. What a enriching and what a moving story, Nandaji. Just going little back, I cannot help speak of 1997 Chants of India.
Yes.
And one incident where I remember Guruji having a deep discussion with you in your office. And later you told me, he says, Gourav bhai, I need to speak to you. It is something so amazing that this man does every time. He was concerned about payment for each and every musician who performed for chants, and made sure that everybody was paid to the last pie, even though he was not, even in the, and you mentioned that it just fills me up with this man's concern. And I mean, these are musicians, these are students who are performing, they'll give their life to be on the same, and this was going to be an album produced by George Harrison, and we recorded at George's home. I still remember we lived in Henley on Thames, and
yes,
beautiful days together.
Yes.
So take us on, and chants were so beautiful, because I think you were really involved with the Sanskrit shloks, and Guruji really wanted to make sure that all the words and all the pronunciation,
correct.
as Guruji always was, even though he had the pronunciation, he wanted to make sure, you being a Vidwan of Sanskrit, he wanted to make sure that everything is correct and to the T.
Yes, I tell you, it's something, again, everything he does, there's something very special about that.
Yeah.
When this Chants of India was being produced, Ravi ji one day rang me, okay, and saying, Nanda, this is happening. We need musicians, locally based musicians. I want to use Bhavan. See, it's preference for Bhavan's artists. Just, if he wanted, anybody would have come all the way from India free and then performed. Just telling to that. But he said, I want Bhavan's artists. So we told all our teachers, who are all involved in teaching, etc., even students who are good, Ravi ji met all of them, and then they organized, the recording, etc., in George Harrison's house. They used to send a bus, a huge bus. 8 o'clock in the morning, the bus would be ready here. Ravi ji was very strict with regard to time. Knowing our people, some people would come a leisurely time kind of a thing. And he would talk to me, Ravi ji, why do our people see Ravi ji? Because of his, experience all over the world, he was such a disciplined person in everything.
Yes.
From concert to payment, etc. He made sure that all the people who spent time in coming and going and recording, etc., they were paid professional fee, not the fee kind of a thing. Even if they go and perform a concert, professional concert, they won't get that kind of money. He paid. And he said, Nanda, I'm not going to use some of them because I'm not happy with the kind of recording, etc. So, but I have already paid.
Beautiful, beautiful.
He made sure that every one of them, and I would go with them, I would sit and walk around, while the recording was going on, George would take me to different places, the recording studio, etc., showing them where these things are. Outside, there is a Shiva image. I still remember.
Yeah.
Okay. That and also during that period, Ravi ji had, I still remember that Guruji sang Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, Daya Karo.
One of the most beautiful Sattvic compositions I have ever heard. So very special how he has sung. And he had composed another song on rhythm Mangala.
Yeah. Udaka Mangalam.
Udaka Mangalam in Bengali. He had composed it in Bengali. He came, Nanda, this is in Bengali. If I do it in Bengali, it becomes limited. I want to give it a kind of unlimited thing in anybody. So can you do this in Sanskrit? If he had asked, anybody would have done that. He would have had hundreds of Sanskrit scholars waiting in queue. But to bless me, he says, Nanda, can you do it? So I said, I grabbed it and I said, Guruji, I will do it by tomorrow. I took it, I took the meanings of what all the words, and then I wrote down the Sanskrit words for his composition. The composition is Raviji's. The Sanskrit words with after discussing with Raviji, those words were done. And the typing at that time was not, properly done by people here. So Raviji said, Nanda, do you know anybody who can do it in the Sanskrit typing, etc.? Our son Raghu was there. He typed. He used to study in this school, Saint James School, where Sanskrit is compulsory. He has typed the Sanskrit thing, etc. Our Subhanu, who is very closely known to Sukanya ji and Anushka ji, he knew. He also gave some kind of a, I can't exactly remember what, but each and every name has been mentioned in that, credits there. In the wrapper, in the cover of the Chants of India, you will find all the names, not a single name omitted there. I went through some of the script, just look at the mean Sanskrit word, etc. But what he gave us was something so very special to involve Bhavan in the production of this legendary CD, Chants of India.
Absolutely, which is so special, very special.
Very, very special.
Because I remember I was in Geneva, I had a concert, and after the concert I was in the hotel, and night Chinnamma's call came, and Chinnamma's, whenever she'll call, whether it's 2 in the morning or 2 in the afternoon, her energy level is always, and it's never dim or very high, or it's always, high. And what are you doing? I said, nothing, I had a concert. And it was, I think, late in the night. And I said, you have to come to London tomorrow. So I said, Chinnamma, we want you here. So I said, okay. So at that time, there was no internet and all those things that I could book. So I said, okay, I'll go to Zurich from here, because Geneva, I don't think there was an international flight coming all the way to Heathrow. So I remember early morning, then I took a train to Zurich, and then I flew. And then we got to know what was happening. It was Chants of India, and Chinnamma said, Guruji wants you to be part of this recording.
Yes.
And it was absolutely wonderful, because all those days in Bhavan and in Henley and with George, being so closely involved, and to see him, such a big superstar.
Correct.
And being so down to earth and so Indian, I would say. I always say, that concert in 2002, 2001, he left all of us.
Yes.
2002, I was lucky to be involved in the concert for George Harrison at the Albert Hall.
Yes.
Guruji was there, and Guruji produced that beautiful piece.
And about 20 of Bhavan's students and teachers were there. Just imagine performing on a houseful show there.
what a show. Not just houseful. I mean, I don't think they even were able to announce it properly and it was sold out.
Correct.
My friend Gilda, for that concert, because she didn't get a ticket and she wanted to be there, I think she paid maybe 500-600 pounds to get a ticket and be there, and she was there luckily.
Yes, yes.
So, but I mean, the whole production, you know, you were part of it. But when I sat there in the hall, and you remember the first half, they had a picture of George Harrison.
Yes, yes, I remember.
And he was wearing this Rudraksh, and that
Yep.
I started crying, you know, Nandaji, that this man, along with Guruji, what a
Yes.
contribution to Indian music and Indian culture he has made.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Coming from a different culture, different background, different, what a contribution he made in making
Yes.
Indian music and culture known to every corner of the world. Along
And
with
also that song, Hari something, Guruji,
yeah.
with everybody sang.
Guruji beautifully changed
Yes.
George Harrison, because he wrote this Indian song. He called it Jai Raj Hari San Prem Kiyo.
Correct, correct.
Jai Raj, George,
Yeah.
Hari San means Hari ke saath, Prem Kiyo, loved Hari.
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh, how beautiful that! And Guruji, and great thing was watching George's picture, and then on the left on that chair, Guruji was sitting with his eyes closed, and you know, I'm thinking, these two people. It was a divine connection. It was made in heaven. It was not made here. It was meant to be that way, Nandaji.
How they respected Ravi ji, George Harrison family. You remember, Gaurav bhai, they celebrated the 80th birthday of Ravi ji in George Harrison's place.
I wasn't there for that, but I know about it, yes.
I think, you know, by then George was not there, I think. I can't exactly, Sukanya ji would be able to tell. And there's a time Olivia ji rang me, Olivia Harrison. What do you call this 80th birthday in India? We call it Sahasra Chandra Darshana Shanti. For 60th year, we call Shashti Purta Shanti. For 80th year, we call Sahasra Chandra Darshana Shanti. Oh, that's beautiful. They called it 1,000 moons. Chandra Darshana. Because from the day Guruji is born until 80th, he would have seen 1,000 moons.
Full moons.
Full moons. Sahasra Chandra Darshana Shan. Then they call it 1,000 moons. On that day, who is who in the field of music?
They were there.
They were all there. They had invited me and Janaki, plus 2 dance groups, our Prakash ji's group and Ravi Shankar Mishra ji, his group. Both of them performed. Abhay ji performed the Tarana of Ravi ji. Prakash performed from Jasmine.
Jasmine, yeah. Which
from there,
he did in Bombay.
From that, a piece with the students. Both were performed in Ravi ji's presence, Sukanya ji's presence, and they performed and they left. That day was a full moon day. And they had such a beautiful show organized there. I can't forget that day. So very special, because it shows how much they respected Ravi ji. How much, you know, because here is a person who brought Indian art to every nook and cranny of the world. But for him, see, we have got great musicians, but the way he presented, everyone respects. Today, all credit, I feel, should go to Ravi ji.
Absolutely.
Very special. Very special.
Very special.
Blessed by his gurus. And he is such a humble person who gave respect to his guru.
Yes.
And all Shishyas are the same thing like you all, your guru. See, you have such a guru parampara, such a unique guru parampara. And then we are all lucky. And then I don't know how much time we have, Gaurav bhai.
We have all the time. Next whole life to talk about Guruji, and still will not be done.
Yes, yes. The other thing is, you know, we started this, you know, the concert, everything took place in Dartington. Next year, we started with Gavin Henderson's promise. we started a degree course. Every year, Raviji, sometimes twice a year, sometimes at least once a year, would come and conduct workshop for them, would talk to them, would listen to them what they have learned, make them feel that, this is, can you imagine one of our students, sitting there and performing, and who is the audience? Raviji sitting and listening to him or her.
That reminds me of a statement. Nandaji, you have visited the Ravi Shankar Center in Delhi.
Yes, I did.
What a beautiful structure, and Sukanya ji's sweat and blood has gone into that. She stood there like a rock to build it, and that Guruji sees it in his lifetime, a dream he always had. And it was completed around the same time as you're mentioning that 80th birthday.
Yes.
Guruji moved there in 2000. I still remember this incident very, it really, and now thanks to Chinnamma, because I'm teaching there and I'm working with students, when I go to the center, I feel I'm going to meet Guruji. It's such a beautiful place, and but Guruji mentioned one day he was playing, and as usual, whether it was a lesson, whether it was an interview, whether it was somebody coming to meet him, whether it was a concert, he was always ready before time.
Correct.
He'll call you at 8 o'clock and himself be ready at 7 o'clock or 7:30.
Yes.
So as usual, I went for a lesson, and Guruji, and in between teaching, he stopped all of a sudden. And he said, I don't know how much time I have, but till the time I live, I hope in every corner of this place, I fill it with music. That thing. And when I was looking at him, and I said, my God, that wanting to put music everywhere, that
very
precious energy, that precious, Nada Brahma, as it's called, what Guruji truly believed.
Yes.
He really believed in it.
And I can say he's a rishi. See, he is a Sangeet rishi. There's no of Kala rishi, we can say. I used to mention this because his simplicity, at the same time, he's so well read about everything, not only just music, dance, because he was a dancer as well. He could understand every aspect of our art, and it did the right thing at the right time so that it can blossom.
Yes. And
all artists have found it that much easy because they are also contributing, but the contribution by the person who started at the beginning is very special. And who is the person with whom the another Western musician with whom he worked, not
Yehudi Menwin.
Not Yehudi Menwin, with him who played. Zubin Mehta. I tell you, when we went for the final prayer for Raviji and his Mukti Path, if I want to use the word that Mukti, because Raviji is here all the time.
All the time with us.
We went there, and after, of course, our Anushka and Nora, both of them performed by repeating all the mantras, the Kriya. And then when there was a meeting to pay respects to Raviji, Zubin Mehta ji mentioned, where our Prasanna spoke as well. I also spoke. I was so honored to have been given an opportunity to say my prayers. Zubin Mehta, he said, in front of Raviji, we are all pygmies. These are the words he used. Just imagine a person of his caliber, Zubin Mehta's caliber, to say something like that. From that, the place was full of people, about 3,000 people in that field in our Paramahamsa Yoganandaji's ashram, where this meeting had been, organized with Raviji's photo with that beard, the beautiful sage-like face of Raviji there. And he mentioned we are all pygmies compared to Raviji.
What respect, really,
Amazing.
It is so amazing. I was just thinking when you were mentioning this, that how he was interested in, I remember once he was at your home, he was talking to Raghu and Sita. And he was really engrossed because I think he had found out that Sita has started to learn dance and started, and he was really having a serious talk and telling, make sure you practice, because next time I am here, I'm going to come and see you. And Sita didn't know how to, she was a kid then, but how seriously he put these things. And same thing happened with, I think, Zubin Mehta also, that he saw in this man something so serious and divine about music in general, that they all really did pranam to him and said, bless us, for us.
Yes, amazing, amazing. No, we in our family, personally, I think we are lucky. We are lucky to have met a person of his caliber, Ravi ji. In our family, during Mathurji's time, Lakshmiji's time, how many times? And afterwards, how many times with Sukanya ji, they would come and make us feel at home. Sukanya ji would go to kitchen and help, Janki as well.
Yeah.
And we had the opportunity of eating in Raviji's house. Yeah. Whenever he came to London, he would hire a place, big place. Sukanya ji, that was a time when Bal Murali ji had come here. Bal Murali ji and our Saraswati.
Saraswati, I was there for that summer school.
Yeah, here during that summer school time, one day they had invited me, Janaki, Bal Murali ji and Saraswati ji and Ravi ji and Sukanya. Sukanya ji had cooked everything. We spent nearly 3 hours. I was just sitting and watching these two giants talking. Ravi ji talking to Bal Murali ji talking about their experiences, etc. To listen to these people, it's just, you have to be blessed. I can only say that.
Absolutely.
Amazing. And in our house, whenever, it's not like they can get food anywhere. If they come to your house, you feel that you are lucky to have such people, such simple people.
Chinnamma is so meticulous, but still Guruji would go in the kitchen and say, oh, Nanda is allergic to this. Oh, these people are vegetarian. Chinnamma said, look, I know. I mean, I'll cook exactly. And he would make sure that it would be a vegetarian meal or without onions or garlic, or if somebody is allergic to that.
Yeah.
Just so amazing. Nandaji, we can go on talking forever. It is, there's no single day that we don't think of him and his music, and it will be like this for the rest of our life. But before we say goodbye to all of us, I would like to take you on this memory trip. When you heard the news of Guruji moving on to his next journey, where were you and what was your feeling?
Actually, it was past midnight, I think, if I remember correctly. There was a phone call. It was our Anushka. I couldn't recognize her voice. Honest with you.
You were in London?
In London, asleep. Past midnight, asleep. Sukanya ji has asked Anushka to ring me. So she rang me. And then Sukanya ji came on the line. Immediately, I realized, Nanda, this has happened. You will have to come. I couldn't believe. And I was shocked and felt so sad. It is like losing somebody who is so very special. Forget about the support, all these things, then we become too selfish. It's not that. Beyond that, somebody who is a genuine friend of people, a servant of our country, our art and culture, etc. Genuine, right? And not being there, I couldn't bring. I woke up Janaki and mentioned to her. Then I told Sukanya ji. She came back on the line again after about 1 hour or so. She composed herself and rang. And I told her, I don't have a visa, Sukanya ji. It will take time. I gather American embassy, they take a lot of time. And then you don't worry, we'll get it done. Be prepared. I'm ready. Immediately I spoke to our chairman, Dalalji was there. And you must go and pay all our respects to this giant. because he knew. And Ravi ji and Sukanya ji, they have greatest regard for our Balaji because they knew him for a long time.
Of course.
So from our Indian High Commission, somebody had been informed. They spoke to American Embassy. I was asked to go for an interview very next day. I went there. I was told that I have to straight away join, to go inside. When I went there, one gentleman said, "No, you can't. You have to stand in the queue." I said, "No, I have been asked to go. There has been a special phone call." No phone call. I stood in the queue. Suddenly from inside, somebody came. I'm looking for Nandakumara. I came here. I said, I was standing there, but a gentleman asked me to go. And he looked at him, immediately I was taken inside. You are going to our country to see this great man continue his journey. We want you to come to our country again, other occasion, not for this kind of occasion, but other occasion to see our country. But here is within half an hour. Within half an hour. Usually they would ask them to come in the evening. So I stood there. Within half an hour, they gave. Next morning, Sukanya had organized for all my, and I stayed with a friend of Sukanya ji in San Diego itself. Our
Purnima, Shekharji.
No. Shekharji.
Shekharji.
Correct, Shekhar Vishwanathan ji. There I stayed there. From there, I used to travel every day to Guruji's place, where I saw our Lakshmi Shankar ji, who had come. I couldn't recognize her because she had become so thin. And Guru's grandchildren, they were all there. I saw Ravi ji. He was just, I couldn't believe that he is not here. He's no more. So much peace on his face. I sat there reading Bhagavad Gita, which he wanted. In the evening, Guruji continued his journey. And with Anushka and our Nora performing the final rites. Actually, after this, Gourav Bhai, when we came back and we had organized a meeting here to pay our respects to Ravi ji. Next year, a very first concert Anushka gave to the Bhavan. She said after the concert, the first concert, the second concert Ravi ji gave, that was in the 90s, we raised about 10,000 pounds for the Bhavan. Usually, any benefit concert, anything, we would raise maximum of 2,500, maximum 3,000. From that concert of Ravi ji, we raised 10,000 pounds to the Bhavan. We felt so happy. Citibank, they all came forward. If Ravi ji, we want to do something. And in our Anushka ji gave as another concert just about 5 years ago. If you remember our Ravi ji, during that concert, she announced, where my father hasn't charged, how can I charge?
Correct. I was there for that.
I won't accept any money from the Bhavan. Not only that, they got Tanmayji by paying his airfare to come to London. Not only that, Sukanya ji said, Nanda, I want a new kind of sound system, because what is there is not enough for the kind of thing they are going to play. Can I pay for it? She want to pay. This is the way they have treated us all the time.
Guruji's sanskar.
Very, very special. I can never express. You see, there are people who help you just like that. And another group I want to remember, just though these Raviji's things like Infosys Foundation, who are helping us.
Of course.
Of course, Arts Council and other people, they have been always with us.
Yes.
But Raviji has been very special because he is connected with what we have been doing here.
Beautiful, beautiful.
It will never be forgotten. And
never,
then
never.
also Kanyaji and Anushka, they have continued that tradition. And all his disciples like our Gourav Bhai, you all have continued. I think I'm so happy to see so many disciples. I always remember it makes me feel sad when I think of our Deepak Bhai.
Oh, I love him. I love Deepak. All Guruji loved him. Chinnamma, Anushka.
Yeah.
Deepak Chaudhary is for me, Nandaji. If you are looking for an example of Guru, I say Pandit Ravi Shankar. And when you ask me an example of a Shishya, I always say Deepak Chaudhary.
He was very special, and we are glad that we have got his disciple Sanjay teaching here at the Bhavna. The thing continued, but you all come here. When you come here, you instill, you recharge a battery of these people, and that makes it that much more interesting. Even all our teachers, they adore Raviji, whether it's Rajkumar, Prakash, or Shivashakti, or Sanjay, Chandrimaji, everyone who works here, Bala and Balu, they all, because Raviji is very special.
Yeah.
All of them have the highest regard for Raviji. And then I'm so happy you have provided me with this opportunity. I would like to thank you, Gourav Bhai, and also Nabarun Chatterji ji, the president of the Pandit Ravi Shankar Music Foundation. Nabarun ji, thank you so much for making
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. I was just listening the conversation between you and Gourav da. Oh, mind blowing. Every time we go to the other episode, we discover a new Pandit Ravi Shankar in it.
Yeah, he's very special. Yeah. Very special. Without any and like whenever he came, whether he came with Tanmay or Vikram, always they would come to Bhavan. They would insist they must come to Bhavan. Just like that. Once when Vikram and Tanmay, they were here, Raviji had asked them to go to Bhavan. On that day, we had a function to pay our tributes to Allah Rakaj. They came, and then Allah Rakaj's children were there here, and Fazal, and also who was the other?
Tawfiq Bhai.
Tawfiq was there. Zakir Bhai couldn't make it. Both of them. These two also joined, and like this, he made everyone who came in contact with him in London always to come and visit the Bhavan. That has been, we are so lucky, so blessed to have this blessing.
Yeah, blessed.
Absolutely.
Just one request before Nabarun does the last speaking. Can we finish with the Guru Mantra again?
Yes.
Please.
Om Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Naguroradhikam Tattvam, Naguroradhikam Tapah, Tattvajnanat Param Nasti, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Anandam Anandakaram Prasannam, Jnana Swarupam Nijabodhayuktam, Yogindra Medium Bhavaroga Vaidyam, Srimad Gurum Nityamaham Namami. Thank you.
So nice, Nandaji. It's really, we enjoyed this session with you. But this is the week of Guru Purnima. We are in a special episode for Guru Purnima. Yes. I would just like to give your message to the young generation who are learning and listening and playing music. The young generation.
Yeah, to the young generation. I would like all youngsters who are interested in our art and culture, just go deep into the subject, learn from your gurus, just have that faith. And once you have learned, start experimenting and then enjoy performing in such a way that you make not only yourself proud, your guru and your Guru Parampara proud. I wish all of them great success in whatever they want to do in the field of art. Now that with this corona effect, so much has been affected, I don't want anybody to lose their interest. See, if you lose interest, you lose track of your culture. You lose your connection with your culture. It's very, very important, because what makes you really rich is the very essence of one's culture. When we have our culture, we are really rich. Without
absolutely culture, we are the students should not lose their interest. For that, Pandit Ravi Shankar Music Foundation is also committed now In coming
Yes.
days, we are just creating a digital platform for them to perform and show their music to the peoples. This is our intention. So nice of you, Nandaji, for coming here in the show. Good night once again,
Thank
and
you.
pranam. And
Thank
also
you.
to the viewers of
Thank you again. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you. And to the viewers of Pandit Ravi Shankar Music Foundation, once again, we are here tomorrow at 8 p.m. sharp with the Guru Purnima special episode coming tomorrow. And also we are going to announce for the young peoples, young musicians, to something from our maestros to be connected tomorrow 8 p.m. with the Guru Purnima special. Till then, good night, be safe. Namaskar.
Namaskar. Thank you.
Gourav bhai, namaskar once again.
Thank you. Thank you.
Namaste. Namaste.